the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, and Jerry Keyser.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report as we return for the first time in 3 weeks. Something like that.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Yeah. First time in 2021. Show number 161 for January 7th. It's the Hammer Down Racing Report presented by Oakshade Raceway. Coming at you live from the Hammer Down Racing Report home studios. Scott Hammer, Jerry Keyser, Ron Miller with you. What was that?
You've done well there. I mean, you got everything.
The pointing? Yeah, it's been about a year that we've been using these boxes, so I'm starting to get used to it. I want to point that way. I mean, that way. It's just the opposite. I just have to, anyway. Nobody knows what the hell we're talking about if they're watching us right now. Coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter every Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We have a website now, too. Our website is back. We had one a while ago, and we're back now. So if you need more information on the show or you want to sponsor or anything, make sure you check it out. It's hammerdownracingreport.com. Pretty easy to get to. Boom. Scott, I forgot about that, didn't you?
New intro video, and if you've got something you'd like to see, send him a clip. Yeah, he can slide it right in there.
I don't want to do it again.
No, you do. You know you do.
Yeah. And
if you're listening, just telling us that it was fun.
If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, whatever, if you watch the video of us, there's a video that plays at the beginning. So you have to go to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. And while you're there, why not just click the like button or follow or whatever you happen to be on. We appreciate that. So,
it's not nice to beg, but please, 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 please.
I don't know, whatever. Tonight on the show, we're going to talk winter racing. It's a winter-themed racing program. We have sprint cars, ice racing. I think he's the main guy, Nick Barry. He's going to be calling in here in just a little bit. He's from New Hampshire. If you haven't seen the videos on YouTube of this, basically they go to a lake or a pond or something, someplace big. They plow off the snow. I think I read it has to be at least 14 inches thick, the ice, and they race. They put chains on the tires. He'll explain all the details on it, and they got a big deal coming up that we'll let him talk about. And then Barry Marlow from Great Lake Super Sprints has been talking to Nick, and they're kind of getting together, and Barry's talking about bringing that kind of racing up to Michigan. So we'll be talking to both those gentlemen about that. And if you didn't have a chance to get out to the Hangover Race at Sandusky Speedway on New Year's Day, you probably were a lot drier than Ron and I.
Oh, buddy.
But you missed out on a history-making run, Dan Dippman, winning both the Moonshine Stock and Champagne Stock features, beating even the king of the Champagne Stock features. He's been knocked off his throne, Ron Miller.
My kid did that a couple of years ago.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
The dominance is no longer there, and you were beat by a bomber, which I don't know if that adds insult to injury, though.
Scott, I explained it before, buddy. 8-inch tires. I had some mounted up sitting here, and I thought, we should take those, and I didn't, and bad mistake.
So you think the tires were the big thing?
On snow, you don't want a big, fat, wide tire. You want a skinny little tire because there's more weight per square inch. And
there was no snow. That was all rain.
1 inch of standing water is the same. It might be worse than snow.
Yeah, there was a lot of hydroplaning. So we'll talk to Dan a little bit later on in the show about how he happened to. I thought I saw Dan putting on some wider tires for the Champagne.
Yeah, and he took them off.
He took them off. Okay, all right. Well, we'll get to the bottom of that coming up a little bit later on. I want to thank our sponsors, of course, Oakshade Raceway. We're the fastest meet to race every Saturday night. Look for their schedule coming out in about 2 months, the end of February. Hopefully, we'll have some dates before then. We'll let you know when we get those. Also, make sure to support Real Geese Silhouette Decoys. the most technologically advanced goose and duck decoys ever produced, and they're manufactured right here in the U.S. Check out realgeese.com or give them a call, 419-800-8100. Millstream Speedway, their race was postponed from... Yeah, pointing. I thought you were just pointing at your breast for some reason.
No.
Pointing at the logo. Jerry pointing
didn't know it was that kind of party.
No. Millstream Speedway was originally scheduled for January 2nd for the Hangover 2 race, same rules at Sandusky Speedway, but doing it on dirt. And, of course, would have been just terrible with how wet it was and everything. Hopefully, track will dry out and or freeze, or both, by a week from Saturday. It's been rescheduled. It was pushed back 2 weeks to January 16th. So
I guess you could say that the Hangover 2 was muck delayed.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
About 8 inches of muck.
And I saw Scott Warner is inviting the Lima Land and Eldora stocks to run with the Moonshine stocks as well for that event. So hope to have a big crowd out there for the return of racing in the middle of winter. And Millstream, I don't know if Millstream's actually ever run a race in the middle of winter.
Not that I'm aware
of. I haven't seen it.
So it could be a first. Big D's Pizza back on board. And they have a new burger, the Big Nut Burger. The Big Nut guy, that fan. I'm not a Buckeye fan because I went to Michigan State, but that crazy looking dude was there, and they got a burger named after him now, and got the national championship coming up on Monday. Is that when that is?
Yes.
Taking on Alabama? Yeah.
Got it.
A little bit of football for you here on the Hammer Down Racing Report. Also, got to thank Ron Miller Race Cars, 734-856-7223. I was over at his shop the other day. Yeah, right there it is, right there, going by. He's got a bunch of things going on in his shop, but if you need parts, safety equipment, anything, give him a call. Again, 734-856-7223. Yeah.
Advice on how to run third at the Hangover Race.
Is that why I finished third too?
Must be, Scott.
Speaking of the Hangover Race, want to give us that racing roundup, Jerry?
Sure. This week's Racing Roundup brought to you by Tim's Dirt Track Simulators. I'm here at the home of Tim's Dirt Track Simulators, the Hill Banks in Lima, Ohio. Don't forget, Tim will be at all your local racetracks in 2021. Look for him with the simulators and his souvenirs. This week's Racing Roundup, starting off with the 42nd annual Wild Bill Hart Hangover Race at Sandusky Speedway. Dan Dippman topped the Outlaw late models in the Champagne stock class, making history as the first driver to win in 2 classes on the same day, as he picked up the win in the Moonshine stock class as well. Ron Miller, our very own Ron Miller, finished third in the Champagne stock, and Scott Hammer finished third in the Moonshine stocks. In the whiskey stock, it was Rich Gregory picking up the win. The Hangover 2, as Scott said, at Millstream Speedway, originally scheduled for January 2nd, has been postponed to January 16th, next Saturday, due to saturated grounds. The Tulsa Shootout in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the Expo Center, indoor races leading up to the Chili Bowl. Winners were Mitchell Moles in the Winged Outlaw class out of Raisin, California. And the non-wing Outlaws with Chris Carroll out of Claremore, Oklahoma, picking up the win. The winged A-class and stock non-wing winner was Brian Carber out of Pipersville, Pennsylvania. The restricted A-class winner was Jackson Woods out of Benton, Illinois. The junior sprints winner was Lucas Malden out of Rancho Murrieta, California. And the 600cc modified winner was Mason Kiefer out of Camp Verde, Arizona. Down under in Australia, Callum Williamson beat World of Outlaw part-timer James McFadden and Brock Zierfoss in the 410 feature on Saturday at Perth Motorplex in Western Australia. McFadden fended off Zierfoss to win on Monday, December 28th at Perth, and Zierfoss dominated 410 action at Ellenbrook Speedway, leading all 3 laps. And that does it for this week's Racing Roundup, again brought to you by Tim's Dirt Track Simulators. Also helping out this week for the How Many, so look forward to that later on this broadcast. We're going to send out a prize pack to next week's How Many winner, thanks to Tim. And General Tire, Hoosier Tire, and Super Clean.
All right, thanks, Jerry. I believe we have Nick Berry on the line, and also we have Barry Marlow we're going to bring in here. First, Nick, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Gotcha on the phone. Doing this all on the fly. Trying to click on things here. There we go. Got everybody We got Barry Marlow from the Great Lakes Super Sprints with us, and I guess he's been talking with you, Nick Barry, about your sprint cars on ice deal. First, give us a little bit of a background on the sprint cars on ice.
Sprint cars have been around probably for about 4 or 5 years now. We've been messing around with them on the ice. But Hampshire, so to speak, isn't anything new. It's been around for quite a long time, dating back to the 50s, and then the club that we've been racing with has been around since 1978. And then, like I said, we got some sprint cars going, and about 4 or 5 years ago, and hadn't run a sprint car on the ice per se. Myself, I actually started running one in 2019, but I was the original one to bring sprint car racing to the state of New Hampshire in the first place when I created the Scone Sprint Car of New England Dirt Series. So we've been at it for a little while now.
So tell us a little bit about your racing background. You said you started racing on the ice in just 2019. What were you doing before that?
Yeah, I mean, I started racing originally on the ice when I was 13 years old, and I did that with a mini stock, and then did that one season on the dirt, and then just my love for sprint car racing. Watching it back in the day on like the old TNN and stuff like that, it inspired me at 15 years old to create my own dirt racing sprint car series. So I did that for a long time. I was a promoter and wore many hats between doing the promoting as well as being a race car driver. So I was racing with my own series, running sprint cars, and then I've also raced the Northeast style dirt modifieds. Primarily what I've done most of my career racing is sprint cars and modifieds. I raced the Chili Bowl in 2018, and like I said, 2019 we went sprint car racing on the ice, and I've been doing that. And first year I did it, I mean, we won 9 out of 12 races. Last year the ice wasn't very good last year. I ran one race, which is called Lackey, which is up here. It's like 100 or so nationals to us. Built a brand new car last year, ran it. So I lapped the whole field with it, and ended up breaking with 2 laps to go. So that was my season. Yeah.
So, sorry.
Yeah.
The sprint cars you race on ice, they're the same cars that you would race during the summer on the dirt?
Yep, full blown dirt car. Yep. The only thing that we really change, obviously, is tires and stuff like that. That is all. We run a narrower tire with either a stud or a studded chain. We just started allowing the actual snowmobile studs and screws and stuff like that recently. But yeah, that's what you do. Other than that, like I said, it's a full-blown dirt sprint car. The only thing other than those, changing out some tires and stuff like that would be most of the guys were running carburetor now just because of the cold. You can't run methanol. You got to run race gas. So I run a C12 VP racing fuel right now, and my car is on a carburetor. You could do it with an old Hillborn injection as well. We're just changing out the injectors to a gas injector.
Okay.
Nick, Ron Miller here. The company I was working for back in the 70s and early 80s had me stationed in the Albany, New York area, and I remember going to a couple of lakes there that had some ice racing, and it looked like a real hoot.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is. And this is coming from someone who honestly hates the cold. But
I can relate.
Yeah, but believe it or not, your adrenaline's racing, and you actually, you get out of the car, you're sweating, and that's, and we don't really bundle up all that much, really. I just wear a hooded sweatshirt and stuff like that. You stay warm with the adrenaline.
So what
it's a lot of fun.
You just had a big announcement yourself there. You want to tell us about that with MAV TV?
Yeah, so we got a deal going with MAV TV. They're going to be coming to New Hampshire and doing some filming, like a delayed show, so to speak. They're going to be doing that in February, coming to New Hampshire and doing that at the end of February. So, that's obviously huge news for the series and the group of racers and stuff. And the support behind sprint cars on ice has just been overwhelming, to be honest. It almost seems like it went viral amongst the racing community. It's definitely every day it seems to get, and bringing MAV TV on is, obviously only going to, heighten things and get our series out there and hopefully that'll bring in more sponsorships and, create more interest and bring in more drivers.
So is an average racing event, is it just like a Saturday night dirt track where you have heat races and a feature? And what's the average field size that you get?
Yeah, the size of the field is it's kind of limited due to the ice racing because of the conditions we race in. So we have like a total of like 13 sprint cars, ice sprint cars, I should say. And you realistically, you start getting beyond 8 or 10 of them on the track, and it's actually too much. The visibility's poor. So you really don't want to start any more than 10 cars, really. And in my opinion, you can try it, but in my opinion, it's not recommended.
We just dealt with that, didn't we, Scott? Poor visibility.
Speaking of which, I thought I saw in some of the videos that you had that you guys actually have it looks like a plexiglass kind of windshield and actually a windshield wiper.
Yeah, I forget about that. That would be the only other thing that really differs from an actual traditional dirt sprint car. Is we have been running either a safety glass or a Lexan windshield with a wiper. That cuts some of the stuff down, but it's interesting for sure. I mean, it's like I said, it's a full blown sprint car, crossed up with riding a snowmobile almost, and everyone asks, hey, what's that like? And if you really want to describe ice racing, it's unless you get out front and you have some big kahunas or something, man, or luck on your side. It's almost like holding a sheet of white paper in front of your face and just telling you to hold the sprint car wide open.
Now, are these 410 sprint cars?
We got a mixture of everything. We don't actually have an engine rule per se. So we've got 360s, 410s, and I actually blew up my big motor the very opening day of that 2019 season. And when I went on to win 9 out of 12 races, I actually had a little crate motor in my car, and I was beating those big motors.
I would think that the ice would be a
big equalizer.
A big equalizer, yeah.
You would think that, but it really isn't as slick as one may think. To be honest with you, we're actually setting our cars up for a tacky track if you were on a dirt track. Because the studs or the chains, whatever you prefer to use, it's automatic traction built in. You know what I'm saying? So you're not getting the slippage that one may think.
So what about spectators? I mean, are spectators? Is there an area for them? Is it safe for them? Do people come out and watch this?
Yeah, we have a ton of people. A lot of people. It's very, very popular here. They park their vehicles around the racetrack, and there's a snowbank around the track. That's designated area for the track, and then between the snowbank and the spectators, there's unplowed snow, obviously there as well. So they sit back, put a little distance, and but they have a great view of the track and the drivers and whatnot. And they just line their vehicles around the racetrack and taking the show, with the comfort of, sitting in their vehicle, and, they get their heat going so they're comfortable, and eating a hot dog or whatnot from the concession stand. So, and taking in some sprint car racing.
Now, what kind of purses are you guys racing for? Are you guys just doing this for the fun of it?
Well, up here, we've been doing it mostly for the love of, racing and the fun of it. And, we're working on bringing in some sponsors and getting some good purses and different things like that. But, a lot of it is just that whole cabin fever thing and just being able to get out and do something in the winter time and, just enjoy yourself.
Now, has the season started yet this year for you? When is the season?
Yeah, so typically it would have. The weather, obviously, we have to fight Mother Nature every year to do this, and so far she hasn't been very, good to us. So we haven't started our season quite yet. Typically, we would race every Sunday from January through March, of course, with ice permitting, is the schedule. And then typically our big, show that I spoke of earlier, the Latchkey Cup, is usually the last Saturday every year of January.
Now, do you race at different locations then during the season, or is it all at one place?
No, we move around a little bit between Berry Pond and Lee's Mills, and we had a track in Milton Mills, as well as Jaffrey, New Hampshire. So we have a few tracks that we can move around to.
Okay. Now, Les told me I had to ask about your son. I guess he's pretty young and he's having a lot of success. Tell us about that.
Yeah, my son Caden, he just turned 14 last weekend.
Okay.
He started racing at 9 years old, and he's really, done a phenomenal job. He's a fifth generation racer. He's won 3 championships and 4 Rookie of the Year titles in the last 4 years racing. He's raced, started out on the asphalt with like champ karts, and he went to Bandoleros with the INEX series, and then we went put him on the dirt, went micro sprint racing. Won Rookie of the Year and stuff there, and he won third place in points with it. And this year we're actually going to put him in a full-size sprint car.
Is he going to? Oh, is he going to do any ice racing soon? Anytime soon?
Now, unfortunately, right now the rule is that he can't race one until he's 16. So,
all right,
on the ice, but for whatever reason it works out on the dirt, so he can go play on the dirt.
Okay. So when is your next tentatively scheduled race on the ice, or is it just kind of are you in a holding pattern?
I said, it's kind of a holding pattern at the moment. Like I said, we could go race this Sunday if there was ice. There is ice. There's just not enough. So obviously this weekend's race is going to get canceled. So basically, you need a minimum of 12 inches of ice to race, and we got to hit that number. So
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this. Just having seen ice road truckers every once in a while, have any cars gone through the ice at any time?
Not all the way through. No.
Okay, I figured that'd be a straight up no, but there was a pause there.
Yeah. Well, I had to think back because just because I started racing the sprint car stuff on the ice in 2019, I've been around this since I was born in 1986. I was actually born on the Latchkey Cup of 1986. So this is just something that's been a part of my life, my entire life. So
not all the way through.
Yeah, not all the way through. I had to think back throughout the years, but no one's gone all the way through that I can think of. They've gone through a little bit, gone through a couple layers maybe, and maybe the frame set on top of the ice type thing, but never all the way through.
Now, is there something in the waiver that the drivers have to sign about that? If you drown, it's
yeah. They do. They have to sign a waiver, and there's signs on the ice when you go down onto the ice, of course, for spectators and everyone alike. It's just, enter at your own risk type of thing. Sign does sound kind of scary, but it really isn't bad. They take a lot of precautions, and like I said, we've been very fortunate. We haven't had any issues.
You said the spectators drive their cars out there, and I'm sure those are weighing a heck of a lot more in the sprint cars, so probably they're at a lot more risk. But
correct.
Where can people find more information about sprint cars on ice? You guys got a website or anything?
Yeah, so we got a website in the process right now, but for now we do have Twitter pages up, as well as Instagram page. Both are at Sprint Cars on Ice.
Okay. Now, how did you and Barry here get connected? I guess.
Yeah, well, I think all of our friends, Les, he got Barry and I partnered up, and he thought that we would make a great combination. And talking to Barry, I think Les is 100% correct. We just have such a passion, the two of us, for sprint car racing, and I think we're a lot alike in just the passion that we have for it. I think that him and I can do great things together.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time. We'll let you go because I know you said you're feeling under the weather, and we'll talk to Barry Marlow about his deal here. Is that cool?
That sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Again, that's Nick Barry with Sprint Cars on Ice up there in New Hampshire. And now we'll bring in Barry here.
He's been here. We don't
he's been here, but we're going to talk to him now, and I'm going to take that little deal off. Great Lakes Super Sprints, we've had you on the show before. What was it, about a year or two ago? It was a while ago. It was before we had video, so this is the first time we're actually seeing you. We just had you on the phone before.
Do I?
No, you're good. You're good.
All right.
So tell us what's going on. I'll let you explain the connection then with Nick and the Sprint Cars on Ice deal as far as Great Lakes Super Sprints.
Well, Nick and I started talking. We talked one evening and one afternoon I sat in my pickup and we started talking. Of course, we started talking about sprint cars, and we could just keep talking.
Crazy. Why would you talk about sprint cars?
I don't know. But we were visiting, and I didn't think there was any. We kind of talked about maybe having a show out here in Michigan, and I thought, well, that's perfect. We got lakes up north. We have a lot of winter festivals up here. And I didn't think a whole lot about it. I put it on the side burner because I was trying to get my schedule done for the 3 series, and I was working on tracks down in Ohio, and Christmas was here, and I get a phone call about 2 weeks ago from Les, and says, "Hey, this thing's going to take off." He says, "Do you want to make a region out here for sprint cars on ice?" And I said, "Well, duh. Yeah. I mean, we've got the sprint cars." And I said, "We had enough crazy guys that would love to do something in the winter, with all the ice fishing up north and all the things going on in Michigan, So I thought, why wouldn't I want to be a part of that? I mean,
so how far up in Michigan do you think, Barry?
Well, I guess really we could do it right where I'm at. I mean, here around Midland.
Right.
Of course, we lost 2 of our lakes with the dam failure, unfortunately, last May, because that would have been a great place up at Whittemore Lake. Mm-hmm. But, I think as you move up, Houghton Lake, there's a number of lakes that would probably fill the bill. I haven't even checked my ice out here, but I've already got 5 inches on my pond. Uh-huh. So, it's coming. It hasn't been cold yet. So I don't think we'll have to go that far. But I would like to team up with northern festivals that are already in place. That's what makes sense to me. I'm thinking 5, 6, 7 races maybe.
The tip-up events.
Yeah, some of those. That we're in talks with a lot of those guys. I can't talk a lot about it right at the moment because they have to meet with their boards and have their meetings, and so we don't really want to let the cat out of the bag on what we already have done, but I'm putting tires together right now. That's the critical thing. Same car. We got plenty of cars up here, but we got to get the tires studded. So I got to get with Nick a little bit more. He sent me the tire sizes, and we've got a stud. We have a company. We've got a stud company.
They're pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I used to be in dairy, but that's a whole other. Yeah,
different kind of stud.
Pretend stud. And we want to get the tires ready because ideally we want to use customer or environmental friendly antifreeze. That'd be one of the other things that we want to change. Sierra or one of the brands that's environmental friendly, change the antifreeze in the car. But other than that, they can bring up the same car they set up for the dirt track. We pull the wheels off, bolt on the 4 tires with studs on it, push start them, and away they go. So
now, what size tires typically would you be switching to?
Just like a 245. I mean, pretty much what they've gone to is
he talked about a much narrower tire.
Because our traditional sprint car tires aren't really heavy enough to take those studs in them.
Well, and we talked about it earlier. We ran the Hangover Race, Scott and I did, and our wide tires were a huge disadvantage.
Yeah. It's kind of like going through the field at home. You're better off to have a narrow, tall tire than you are to have a wide, short tire.
Right.
But they're probably like 245. They're running bias 15-inch tires. So it doesn't. You're not planning on running anything this year. It's kind of too late in the planning stage. You're looking for 2022.
Winter.
As far as the race schedule, 2022.
We could see
ice.
some guys out hot lapping on a track or on some ice.
Some practice.
We'll see some video from Michigan this winter. I can just about assure you.
Now,
I have at least 4 volunteers.
And
I
bet you there's one.
Find some ice.
There's one right beside you down there. Although he's probably more interested in maybe some support divisions, and that's something I should have asked.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking about sprint car, and my wife's sitting there shaking her head. But it's ice, honey. How bad could it be? And you're always up for a road trip.
Now, would there be support classes? Like I said, I should have asked Nick because I've seen some of the stock cars running with them as well. Would you have some support classes for your events? Or is that
I haven't really got that far.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of figured with some of these festivals, we'd be an event by ourselves. I mean, I could see us having 15, 16 cars. Well, at that pace, if you're running 5-car heat races, you're going to have 3 heat races. I mean, you'd have kind of enough to put on a show. I don't know I guess it depends how much beer they have in their car, and how long they want to sit, how well their heater works in their car. I guess we might need a lot of support classes then. But I can guarantee you, I'm sure some of my Lightning Sprint people are going to want to put studs on their tires and go out and have some fun too.
Speaking of which, have you gotten any feedback from any of your drivers?
Yeah. I talked to 6 guys. The first 6 guys I talked to were like, wow, when can we do this? So I don't think there's going to be a problem having enough people that want to give it a try. Sprint cars anyway are fun, and you put them on ice. We're going to have some great pictures, I think, this winter. We will try it out. I can guarantee you we'll go out once or twice.
Have you and Nick talked about maybe some kind of a national champion, between his region and yours?
That was the first conversation we had. We were talking about someplace maybe in Western Pennsylvania, maybe up in the, from Buffalo down to Erie, somewhere in that range that would be halfway decent for our guys out of Michigan or from the Midwest to come meet and absolutely have a 2-day weekend someplace. We're going to have to scout that one out, but of course, Nick wants to run against our guys. I know 3 of my champions that already said, yeah, I'm in, I want to run. So, we'll have some cars out there to run.
I don't know about Canada and what the logistics would be, but as you get later in the season, maybe you need to move further north.
Right.
So what's
Yeah, well,
what,
we need borders open first, but
yeah, well, that's another. I'm hoping this time next year things will be a little bit more normal, but
opening's a good word too.
yeah.
I'm hoping it's opening.
Yes. What's the latest going on with your Great Lakes Super Sprint Series? You got schedules out yet for this year? The regular racing?
Check your email. I think I just emailed it to you right before I went on air. I haven't put it on my website only because I didn't get it edited, but I did email it out about 7:00. So GLSS's schedule is out. I've got a little more TBAs. I think I got 5 TBAs on there only because I'm adding some new tracks and it takes a little more juggling to get those worked in. But I think I've got 22 or 23 on there confirmed. 9 double weekends. I think we're going to have three shows at 3 different tracks that will run all 3 of my series: is the non-wing, the traditional sprints, the lightning sprints, and GLSS. And yeah, but did you find it, Scott?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It looks.
Okay.
I was looking through here. It looks like you're starting off April 16th at I-96, and then I was scrolling through here looking for any Ohio tracks, and I happened to see Fremont Speedway on Saturday, July 31st.
Fremont is confirmed July 31st. There may be another one. That there, you see some TBAs there.
I see a few. Yeah.
Well, most of those TBAs are Ohio tracks.
Oh, okay.
And that's why it's taking a little juggling.
Have you talked to Scott Warner? Just out of curiosity.
Yes. Oh. Scott was one of the first people when he heard about the sprint cars on ice was like, whoa, so he should be listening. He should be listening in tonight.
I'm sure he is.
I did pencil a TBA in there. I was honoring his wish. He told me when we talked earlier this fall that he was going to probably not have any traveling series there. And then I kind of got wind that there might be 1 or 2 showing up there. So I thought, well, I'm going to throw my name in the hat too. Because I definitely would like to have a show at Millstream, but Oakshade's on my list. Attica is a long shot at this point. Wayne County is definitely in. I just don't know. We got to work with Attica a little bit on their rain dates with the All-Stars. We don't want to go up against that. Even if it is going to be, we don't know if it's going to rain out, but we don't want to schedule it against the rain out date. So that's some of the juggling I got, but those are the tracks that I'm kind of hoping to add on there, maybe at least 2 or 3 more races.
All right.
Maybe a Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Ohio.
I don't think I can pull that one off this year. If
Millstream's a Sunday.
I know they are. I know.
Ron's trying to help out with your scheduling here.
I know he is.
I
know they are. I got a lot of work to do there yet. That's why I released the schedule, because that's where it gets a little tougher trying to dovetail some of that stuff.
No, you're gonna get
if you haven't been on a schedule, or if a track's like Millstream didn't run last year, it takes a little more finessing to get worked into a schedule. So
when will you have that schedule posted on your website there?
Well, when I'm done here, I'm going to proofread. I've already got it on my website. I just haven't released it. But I sent it to you and Dirt Nerds and Horsepower Happenings and TJ Slideways. So it may be out there.
We know
it
those
just depends if somebody was sitting on their email.
There.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, that's 2020 there.
That's 2020. No, I don't have it. No, it's not live on my schedule yet.
Okay. All right.
I'll have the press release out before I have that all done. That's kind of a tedious job to go through and get that schedule because it ties into the tracks.
All right. Well, we got to get moving on here, but if anybody wants more information on Great Lakes Super Sprints, GreatLakesSupersprints.com. I'm assuming you're on Facebook and everything else as well.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Kinda.
we are. But
right.
Great Lakes Sprints is a good one. .com is a good one to go to because that'll take you to a landing page.
Oh, that's right.
3 of the groups.
Gotcha.
And then that way, even if you can't read, you can just click on the car that you like. You click on the car and it takes you to whichever one you like. Sorry,
better.
Ron, there's no late models on there or anything. Sorry.
No Great Lakes super
All
late
mine are
models.
open wheel.
I wonder on ice how technically advanced the chassis needs to be.
Oh, technical.
Yeah.
Real technical.
Yeah, just running this through. Mama's smiling over there.
I think how a guy handles the throttle is going to make a big difference on the ice because you're going to have traction.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah. I don't think could be is the word. I think will be fun.
Yeah, look at that. Click on the picture you want.
Yeah.
Speaking of handling on slippery conditions, we're going to talk to somebody who's got that. He's figured it out, at least in the stock car. Barry, we appreciate the time and good luck. And hopefully we'll see you at least at Oakshade, if not some other tracks in Ohio. You got the Fremont
we're working
there.
on it. We're working on it. Well,
and
thank you very much, gentlemen.
I-96. So you're not too far out of our area. If you know, in Michigan there.
I'm trying to get back in there. That's I like coming home to Northwest Ohio. So
all right, Barry.
Go Bucks. We got a big game Sunday.
Go Bucks.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We'll see you, Barry.
I like football too. Open wheels and football.
There we go.
Dangerous combination.
On
All
ice.
Right, thank you guys. Happy New
Barry,
Year.
it's great talking to you again.
Thank you, Barry. Thanks a lot.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
All right, Barry Marlow. Always great to talk to him. Great Lake Super Sprint family. All those classes. Let's bring in our other guest. He's been waiting in the wings here patiently. Mr. Dan Dippman, congratulations on your history-making run at Sandusky Speedway
Thank you.
Almost a week ago now, Friday.
Yep.
So my first question is, what the hell? How the hell were you so fast? I mean, we start the race, and I see you blowing by me, and as soon as I see that, I hit the gas, and my car wants to just spin out, even if I try. So, I mean, how did you have that car so hooked up?
Well, throttle control does help quite a bit.
Yeah.
Good year, Aqua Treads.
No, it was my dirt tires from last year, just the 8-inch tires, and I think getting into the corner was the tricky spot. As long as you could get that car into the corner, then it from mid corner off, it was hooked up pretty good. And yes, I did put the big tires on and tried them, and I think it did slow down a little bit trying to put the late model tires on. So we went.
Was that just for the heat race?
That was earlier in the night too. In the Champagne feature, the water was just horrid.
Yes, it was coming down pretty good. So yeah, it was definitely it was a mutual agreement between the driver and the crew and everybody.
All right, well, let's talk about your first win. The Moonshine stock feature was first, and you took a challenge to start a lap down, I believe it was, and what was that, an extra $60 on the line for that?
It first came to me and offered $20 to start the tail of the feature. And I thought, well, I'll just do that for nothing. Didn't have to offer $20, but then they came back and said they threw more money in the pot for a lap down. And I did the math trying to figure out if I could do it and if there was going to be cautions. Because if you only got a couple, 2-3 laps and then caution, you'd keep going back a lap down. So it was definitely, you had to count on everybody else not spinning out too. So
it was a gamble.
I'm sure you assumed that there would be cautions, which could put you back at the tail of the lead lap.
Yes. Yeah.
And speaking of which, you were one of the cautions, were you not?
No, the tire blew under caution.
Okay.
How did you do that?
I don't know. The tire blew under caution and I took off again. Yeah, so I would have been another caution. My left front tire went flat under caution. We took the green and I made one more lap, and then yes, I was another caution.
Gotcha. Okay. So it was flat. Did you know it was flat before we went green?
Yes. Yep. They kept telling me it was flat, and I was like, I could keep going. Well, you can't.
Which tire was it that was flat? I mean, I saw you sitting there, but left front? Yeah, that one's not important.
That one don't touch the ground anyway.
It didn't do anything.
Not much. So then when they came over with the hook, he asked me if I had another tire, and I said, of course. And he says, well, I'll give you 3 laps. Go back and get your tire back on. If you can get back out here, we'll start you again the tail end, and that's what we did. So by that time, I think there was only 4 or 5 of you left.
I think that they cut the laps down too. I think we went from 20 laps to 15. But when I saw you on the hook, I actually got kind of excited. I'm like, hey, I'm going to finish one more position ahead. And then I didn't know you came back out on the track. So when we went green and I saw you flying by, I'm like, where the hell did he come from? Like, what the heck? So now, you were running a line that I think you've run in the past. You want to talk about that?
I could move around quite a bit. No, I could not go all the way to the bottom, but anywhere from mid all the way to the top. You know, it was a lot of watching what other people did. I did slow down quite a bit when I got into traffic because a lot of guys couldn't get into the corner. So as soon as they tried to turn, they'd push up, and I tried to protect the car and I went even higher. I did not go into the grass on the top side, but it seems like the car was hooked up good enough. It probably could have, but.
Now, did you have a regular dirt track set up under that, or did you have a special Sandusky Speedway setup?
No, that was my Saturday night setup.
Scott, we talked about it, and the attitude of the car looked every bit like it does on any Saturday night at Oakshade.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's regularly faster than me at Oakshade, but not that much faster, and I was running the dirt track setup. So maybe it was just a driver thing. I don't know. But so what changes did you make to the car between running the Moonshine class and the Champagne class?
Just the 2-barrel. There was allowed to run the 4-barrel and unhook the secondaries. We did that the first 2 times, and then after I left it, after the car was running good on the 2 barrels, we left it. So when we went out for the feature, that's the way it was from winning the 2-barrel class. We left the car the same. We didn't change anything.
How confident were you?
Including the 2-barrel, correct?
Yeah, I didn't need the 4-barrel.
How confident were you that you were going to beat these outlaw late models like Ron and Steve?
I was not, because earlier in the night, I never got a chance to hot lap against them. Every time I went up to hot lap, they held me off and let the big boarded cars go out there, and I got stuck back with the street stocks to hot lap with. So I knew I was way faster than the street stocks, but I never got to race or hot lap against the late models until our heat race. And Dan, my car was brilliant on the bottom, but so was Dave Gumby's, and he started ahead of me, and I couldn't go by him. We were brilliant on the bottom, but the car was terrible if I got up half track. Right. You had some problems in your heat race, wasn't it? Did you have?
I had a fuel issue that we never ran a lap.
Yeah.
And that's why he started at the back, and and he didn't want to knock his future son-in-law out of the way to catch you. So that's why he allowed you to win.
Yeah. So again, going into the feature, I never raced against Ron. I had no idea because he broke at the beginning of our heat race. So I wasn't sure if I could beat Ron. I never raced against him the whole night. And then I started on the pole of the feature. So I never seen Ron the whole night.
And never looked back.
I never looked back. So I never got to race against him.
Did you ever see us at all?
At the very end, I started looking around and I could see Gumby. So I was about a half a track in front of Gumby.
Did you I didn't get a chance to watch your feature because I was thoroughly drenched and freezing at that point. But did you end up lapping people in the Champagne feature as well?
I remember going by the V8, the figure 8 cars an awful lot, but I don't think I ever got around any of the boarded cars. No.
Okay.
So no, I think I was probably half or 3/4. I think I did come up on them at the end, but no. Then I think that one was cut short too. I think that was only 15 laps.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, that's another reason Ron didn't catch you. So are you running the Hangover 2 at Millstream?
Yes.
Week from Saturday?
Yep.
Okay.
As of right now, that's our game plan.
Both classes or just one classes?
Might as well. We're going there to win the 2-barrel 8-inch tire class, and you're there. You might as well double enter into the bigger class. I say everybody should do that. It's a no-brainer just to get extra track time, and
sure.
And, it's a no-brainer to double enter.
Now, are you going to make any? Go ahead, Ron.
Scott. Okay.
You first.
What did you think about the closing rate on some of the figure 8 cars that were there?
it was tricky to watch them because, again, everybody was struggling getting into the corner. And I don't know if it was visibility or just the reaction times, but if their car pushed going in, they would just shoot right up the racetrack. So there was very seldom that I would either pass them down the straightaways or through the corner. I was a lot better through the corners. So I tried not to pass anybody on corner entry. And if I did come in on them hard, I would go to the bottom and then just kind of do a slide job up, to get around them. But
I found that the closing rate was crazy.
It was very much on the figure 8 cars. It was, and They were on asphalt tires. So that was like, they could have been on hockey pucks as far as I was concerned. Wow. They tried to run asphalt tires, and it definitely didn't work for them.
Speaking of those guys, a quick question for you, Ron. Are they the Rebel? Is Dennis or the Wismans coming to Millstream?
Dennis is on the same bowling league as us on Tuesdays, and he said he's absolutely coming to Findlay. He had a blast, and he's putting a feeler out for some 8-inch dirt tires.
Well, come see Dippman Motorsports. We've got plenty of Hoosiers, and Craig's actually got an awful lot of old A's and D's, and he'd be more than happy to get rid of them.
Sure.
And we actually had some at the track for sale. Some of the tires that we were running, Craig had in the trailer for sale. So
are you making any changes to the car for Millstream, or is it?
Yes, in all the years that we've been doing this stuff, I've always put a little heater in the car, a little heater core and radiator hoses. This time I did not have that, and that will go back in the car. So yeah, we're getting a heater put in it. And
but as far as the setup for the car,
oh yeah, no, we're not touching that.
Okay. You think that could? I mean, we don't know what the track's going to be like in a week.
No, but that car, we've had that for an awful long time, so we do know how to adjust that one and make it better for the slick, and it's ran its fair share of enduros. So I was actually looking really forward to playing in that 8 inches of slop. So we wouldn't have been able to get the trucks in. We would all had to park out in the street.
So how proud were you to become the first? Not 2-time winner, but winner of 2 classes in the 42-year history of the Hangover Race.
That was without a doubt one of the prouder moments. Yeah, that was definitely a big one.
Where's that rank?
You made the big money too.
What's that, Ron? Where does that rank in as far as your career achievements?
Probably in the top 5, maybe even breaking into the top 3. I mean, there was one weekend that I had a really good running at Oakshade where I won the $1,000 show and then went on to win the Enduro the next night. But yeah, definitely anytime you can race against the Miller boys and Ron Miller's just spectacular out there for the Hangover, and anytime you get a chance to race against him and beat him is just phenomenal. Yeah, it was the rain. Yeah, it was very hard to see. Yeah, without a doubt.
How wet were you when the show was over?
That's what I was going to ask. How wet were you?
I got wetter from the car. My left side of the cockpit actually broke loose at the bottom, and my left front tire was spraying water into the car.
Oh, no.
And I was completely drenched. And then again, of course, when the flat tire happened, Craig was back hiding in the trailer, and he said he stayed dry up until the flat tire. And then after that, he was completely drenched, and it came down in buckets. I could not believe how hard it was raining. And yeah, I was very happy with the way the car handled. But again, just like anybody will say, I got to show the car, but it is a team effort. I mean, with my daughter and Jamie Fowler and Craig Dippman and everybody that helped, it is definitely a team effort that can put something like that together to be able to run competitively. It's definitely just phenomenal to be the one that can show the talent that everybody's got.
Next time it'll be dry.
Fingers crossed. So what are your plans for the regular race season this year?
We'll probably just put that car together and go out and play with it. I got to run that up at I-96 the end of last season for that roll the dice, and that car handled phenomenally up there too. And I would love to go travel a little bit more, play with some other tracks. hopefully Lima once or twice, and Eldora if they open up. Yeah, I don't think we're going to run a full season. So it'll just be hit and miss. We'll play with the car and then work on the rest of the guys and help everybody out. It sounds like we got one in the shop coming out with you in the driver's seat. So we'll definitely be able to play around at the racetrack this year.
I don't know what you're talking about. I plead the fifth.
Scott Warner wants you to talk about your donation back to Bev.
That was definitely a tearjerker. I had no idea with Bev until the drivers' meeting that Kevin, his wife, the track owner, was not doing well, and
she was in hospice, and I honestly didn't think Kevin should even have been at the racetrack, but his dedication had him there.
Yeah, that was hard for me, and no, it was a no-brainer. Yeah, they offered me extra money for the race, and when they walked out with the cash, I gave it back to them, and that was definitely yeah.
Well, we got John Young says he's putting a bounty out on you for the moonshine class at Mill Street.
All right,
so
all right.
Not sure what that is, but
well,
I'll gladly take it if maybe we could work out a deal where maybe you can
we can team up.
Get a flat tire. Wink.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, good luck.
Just for what it's worth, Danny, I did try back in the late Model N and trusting the sideboard.
Didn't work either. Huh?
That I only tried it one time.
I'm not sure. I kept saying that them boards made a huge difference. The boards did make a huge difference in that track scenario. With as much rain was coming down, you were right. It was the 8-inch tire that made the big difference. It was not the huge board on the side. Having the setup to get into the corner did make my car a lot faster. But like I said, once it got in through the middle, I could put the hammer down pretty good, and it stayed hooked up, I
was envious of you. I would get in the corner, and I tried that once and looped it during hot laps, and my car was just twitchy if I tried to get on the gas too much.
I think somebody else tried following me into the corner, and we had to pluck him out of the weeds that went quite a ways off the track. But like I said, it was getting into the corner. You had to be tedious getting in the corner. It was the only thing I did in the car was I did play with my brakes, the bias on the brakes to get it to where I wasn't chirping the rear tires or skidding the fronts getting into the corner. So you just keep cranking one way or the other to get as comfortable as you could. And, I held around the floor down the straightaways and you had to know when to lift to get into the corner. But,
so do you think you'll run the high side again at Millstream, because you got a lot less room there? You got a wall all the way around the corners.
No idea. It's been years since we've been down to Millstream, and there's no telling what this track's going to be like. I'm really looking forward to it, but you look at the 10-day extended forecast, and it's really not looking like it's going to freeze hard anytime in the next week and a half. So
the 2 days before are looking chilly.
Might have a snowstorm.
All right. Well, that would be great. But, like I said, I'm gunning for the mud. I would really love to race in the mud, but it's still going to be being able to get the trucks in the parking lot. So if we can't get the trucks in the parking lot, I doubt the racetrack is going to be muddy. But
well, hopefully it's drying out. We'll have. I know Scott's going to be doing an update on Wednesday. Should have an update on that, so we'll find out more then.
Like I say, I'm looking forward to it. I hope we get to run that one.
Me too.
Me 3. Jerry?
Yep. Jerry,
I hope so.
You got to put the spinners on that one behind you, but
well, I had a race truck I could drag out of the weeds, but
there you go. Well, good luck, Dan, in a little over a week, and good luck on your 2021 season. Running at different places. I'm sure we'll see you around.
Thanks. It was nice talking to you guys, and Happy New Year, and hope to see you guys at the racetrack next week.
Congratulations, Danny.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
see you Millstream.
Yep.
All right. Dan Dippman again with his historic run. Again, the first time that's been done in 42 years winning 2 classes, winning the feature. It's been attempted many times. I think Craig's done it at least a couple times, Craig Dippman, but nobody's actually won. He actually gave you a pretty good run for your money there that one year. I don't remember when that was.
Last year. Was
that last year?
Yeah.
They all kind of blurring together. I don't know. But we got some news to get to, and then we have, how many. And, we were off for how long? 2 weeks?
A month?
Yeah. Almost. It seems like a month, doesn't it?
The whole year, Scott.
The whole year. So we got a lot of news to catch up on here, and we'll kind of blow through this as quickly as we can. First, we had mentioned Bev Jaycox, the wife of Sandusky Speedway owner Kevin Jaycox, who had been battling cancer for most of last year. She finally lost that battle Sunday evening. So I know Chris and Doug had reported that on their Facebook Live. They do. So sad news there. But that was, I guess, part of the reason the track was up for sale most of last season. So it sounds like that track is no longer listed, but if somebody comes with the right handful of cash, I'm sure Kevin will listen. But as of right now, things are on track for regular racing at Sandusky Speedway. So the SRX series, the Superstar Racing Experience, that deal with Tony Stewart and the guy, I always forget his name.
Ray Evernham.
Ray, yeah. I always see his face. He's got that weird face, and I can never remember his name for some reason. I'm sorry.
He says the same thing about you.
He probably does, which is fine. Basically, the IROC series kind of thing. They finally released their schedule. They're going to be racing at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway on July 17th. That will be the final race of their schedule. It's going to be the championship deal. It's going to be a 6-race series that will start in Stafford, Connecticut at Stafford Motor Speedway on June 12th. And then following that, June 19th, Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa. Then they're going to be at Eldora, June 26th. July 3rd, it's Lucas Oil Raceway in Indiana. Lucas Oil Raceway in Brownsburg, Indiana. July 10th, it's Slinger Speedway in Slinger, Wisconsin. And then, as I mentioned, they wrapped up that series at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway in Nashville, Tennessee.
So, 8 shows?
6 shows, 6 consecutive Saturday nights is the plan.
Okay.
I don't know if they have a rain contingency or how that works, but that might be interesting to find out.
The Eldora show is coinciding with their second Silver Crown race.
Is it? Okay.
USAC that weekend. That's going to be a pretty neat deal in itself.
So, yeah, if you want to see some people that wouldn't normally see running short tracks, check this out. Paul Tracy, some other IndyCar guys, Tony Stewart,
Tony Kanaan. Yeah.
Labonte, Bobby Labonte is going to be running that. So
Bill Elliott.
I think they approached Ron Miller, but he politely declined.
He said he was tied up getting his stuff ready for Hangover Race for 2022.
I was worried about beating all those old guys.
Yeah. The promoters of 4 speedways in Northeast Ohio and Northwest Pennsylvania have joined forces to have the popular Midwest-based UMP Series sanction its E-Mod races for the upcoming season. Weekly UMP modified racing will take place on Friday nights at Raceway 7 in Conneaut, Ohio, Saturday nights at New State Line Speedway in New Busty, New York. Or I'm sorry, in Busty, New York.
Boosty.
Busti.
Boosty.
All right, we'll go with that. And Sunday nights at Erie Speedway in Erie, Pennsylvania, while Sharon Speedway will run special events on select Saturday nights. In addition to the Economods at Erie's, Raceway 7, and Sharon, they'll utilize UMP tire and body rules with the exception of a 5-inch spoiler permitted. Both the UMP modifieds and Econo modifieds will have a burn-off period for the open tires on June 1st. The UMP tire rule will be in effect on the rears and all 4 corners by June 15th. The MPD Racing Buckeye Outlaw Sprint Series will begin its 2nd decade of sprint car racing next year with a record number of events on the schedule, 27 nights of racing with 14 events here in Ohio and at least 1 event in the bordering states. The series will visit Waynesfield Raceway Park on March 27th. So good. This is the first I've heard anything going on at Waynesfield since the beginning of last year, and then everything got canceled. So,
yeah, the same promoters are in place at Waynesfield. They just, with COVID, they had to make a tough decision to hold up their season. So, looking forward to seeing them back in action this year.
Well, they're scheduled for March 27th, so I don't know that the COVID stuff is going to be. It'll be interesting to see if that sticks. I hope for it. Hopefully it will. But they do have some other dates at Waynesfield. They actually have, looks like 5 dates total. May 30th, July 3rd, August 21st, and September 5th. So hopefully we'll get the majority of those in at Waynesfield Raceway Park. Yeah. Fremont Speedway will see the series on May 1st, May 29th, August 14th, and September 18th. The series will visit Millstream Speedway on July 11th, and there is one date to be announced. I don't know. I didn't see Oakshade on there, and Oakshade has typically had them. So that maybe that could be. I really have no insight in that. It's just actually a total guess there. And speaking of traveling series at Millstream, we mentioned the Boss Series, and I believe Scott's he's got a date lined up for the Fast Sprint Car Series as well. So I mean the GLSS. Not out of the realm. Could happen. I don't know. The TI 22 Performance Fast, speaking of the Fast on Dirt 410 Wing Sprint Car Tour, they're going to begin their third year partnered with the Buckeye Outlaw Sprint Series under Aaron Fry. 25 nights of racing. We'll see 18 events in Ohio. The series will share the card with the Boss Series at Waynesfield Park on those dates we just mentioned. Those 5 dates, March 27th, May 30th, July 3rd, August 21st, and September 5th. Series will also share the card at Fremont Speedway on May 1st, May 29th, August 14th, and September 18th. And the series will visit Millstream Speedway on August 22nd. I forgot I had that in my prep there. Sorry. Bristol Motor Speedway's dirt track will get pushed to its limits in April 2021. That's this year now. I guess we don't have to say 2021 now because it is now 2021. The World of Outlaws are returning there. You know, they got their own deal, the Bristol Dirt Nationals in March 15th through the 20th, and now they're going to get some more use out of that dirt with the World of Outlaws sprint cars and the late models on the famed high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway. It's the first time that they've been there in nearly 2 decades. Remember, right around the turn of the century.
01, I think, was the year that they were there.
So that would be 2 decades, yeah.
Yep.
So Thunder Valley will host the World of Outlaws National Touring Series, both of them on 2 separate weekends during a busy month. On April 8th through the 10th, the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series will headline the action in the World of Outlaws Bristol Bash, and they'll be supported by the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. The spectacular World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, long identified as, quote, the greatest show on dirt, unquote, will return to Bristol for the first time since 2001 on the weekend of April 22nd through the 24th for the World of Outlaws Bristol Throwdown. They're going to be joined by the Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modifieds. The 2 races will end 2 months of historic dirt racing action at Bristol Motor Speedway, which, as I had mentioned, is going to be hosting the Bristol Dirt Nationals and, of course, the much-anticipated NASCAR dirt racing weekend, March 27th through the 28th, showcasing the Food City Dirt Race in the Cup Series and the Piney's Dirt Truck Race for the Camping World Truck Series. So, and I think I saw something today that the Cup Series event is sold out.
Really?
So, and it's been a while since Bristol, and I think that was the goal because they haven't been selling out. It used to be the hardest ticket to get in NASCAR, 15, 20 years ago. And over the years, it's kind of faded in popularity, and figured they'd do this and try and get it to see if they could get a sellout. And they did. Although I don't know if it's limited. It could be because of the limited seating, which probably that doesn't count. It's like comparing apples to oranges. So
Right.
Anyway. Reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion Chase Elliott will join Philippe Nasser, Pipo Durrani, and Mike Conway in the number 31 Whelen Engineering Cadillac for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship Rolex 24 at Daytona, January 29th through the 31st. Chase has been kind of doing everything.
Yes, he has.
He's doing it well.
Both chases. Chase Briscoe getting ready to run next week at the Chili Bowl. But, obviously moving up the Cup next year. Those two boys are going to be something to watch for a long time to come.
There'll be a lot of people chasing him.
Yes. I see what you did there.
See that? Champion Racing Association, powered by JAGS officials, has released next year's schedule for the ARCA CRA Super Series. The ARCA CRA Super Series season will consist of 15 total races, with 12 of those being points-paying events. Next year will be the 25th season of competition for the Template Super Late Model Touring Series that first raced in 1997. Was it about the time the Iceman Series went away?
Yeah.
I remember I did the website for those guys many years ago. The 2021 racing season kicks off with a traditional non-points opener for both the ARCA CRA Super Series and the JEG CRA All-Stars Tour with the CRA Speed Fest 2021 at Watermelon Capital Speedway in Georgia on January 23rd. So that's just a few weeks away. Series is tentatively scheduled to appear at Flat Rock Speedway on Saturday, June 1st, and at Toledo Speedway on Saturday, September 18th, for a 5,000 to win 100-lap event as part of the Glass City 200. The NTT IndyCar Series officials have announced that the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach has been rescheduled to Sunday, September 26th, due to COVID-19 pandemic issues. Additionally, the move creates a three-weekend West Coast swing to complete the championship. Beginning at Portland International Raceway on Sunday, September 12th. The home stretch continues at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca on September 19th before finishing at the historic streets of Long Beach. The season opener has also been adjusted. Was originally set to be St. Petersburg on March 7th for the IndyCar Series. Was just announced yesterday that NTT IndyCar has pushed that date for St. Petersburg back to April 25th, which will make it the second race of the season. The season will now kick off at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama on April 11th. Schedule changes, of course, all due to COVID-19, which we're in 21. Should be COVID-19 was because that's when they discovered it. It's 2019.
That is so much last year, yeah.
It's almost 2 years ago at this point. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson's looking for a new spotter. You guys wait, I'm looking for a job. Maybe I should apply.
There you go.
He's looking for a new spotter for his NASCAR Cup team, Chris Monez. He was hired and fired before the season started. The parting of ways from Hendrick Motorsports is allegedly linked to a social media post or several social media posts from last year. So be careful what you post on social media, I guess. Ron's not careful. He'll just post whatever's on his mind.
I do.
I know.
He's here, man.
The Dryden Extreme Dirt Car Series returns to action for the Frostbite 40 on Saturday, January 9th at Cherokee Speedway in Gaffney, South Carolina. That's this coming Saturday. Wild West Shootout at Arizona Speedway kicks off for late models modified on this Saturday and Sunday at 5:30. The series resumes on Wednesday, January 13th, and then Friday through Sunday, January 15th through the 17th. Of course, Rusty Schlenk made the trip out there in hopes to show off his Domination Race Cars chassis.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd been following that. They've been posting a little bit about their excursion.
Yeah, a little bit.
Farthest from home they've ever been.
Is it really?
Yeah, new deal.
Very cool.
I wish him luck out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally, of course, the 35th Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals gets underway on Monday. That's this coming Monday, January 11th. It's January 11th through the 16th, so pretty much all next week. This will be going on inside the River City Spirit Expo Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There are over 300 entries scheduled to compete over the course of 6 days. Sandusky's Chris Andrews and Pleasant Hill's Matt Westfall, along with a who's who in racing, are scheduled to compete John Ivy's listed as a car owner. Anton Hernandez racing out there. I think I got a text from Dean here. We might talk to him from the Chili Bowl Nationals if we have time. We got a big show next week, though. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. But first, it's time to play How Many? Your chance to win a Big D's pizza.
Segue into that, Scott.
You like that?
You were talking about the Chili Bowl, and wow.
And this week's How Many? It has to do with the Chili Bowl. But first, we got to take care of business from last year. Last time we did the How Many was how many champagne stocks would start the Millstream feature on January 2nd. And actually, I messed that up in my prep. I put down the number that we had from Sandusky, which wouldn't matter because they had 7 at Sandusky and 0 at Millstream on January 2nd because it was pushed back. So our in-studio winner, or on-show winner, was you, Ron. Congratulations. You said 17. You picked the lowest number. And our online winner was my dad, Dave Hammer. He guessed 12. He was the lowest guess from our online winners. So congratulations to him. He gets a Big D's pizza. This week's How Many? Jerry, what in addition to a Big D's pizza, what else are they getting?
Got a gift pack from Tim's Dirt Track Simulators. Includes some goodies from General Tire, koozie, stickers, Tim's Dirt Track Simulator stickers, super clean coupons, super clean stickers, Hoosier Racing Tire decals, you name it, all kinds of goodies, a prize pack with all kinds of good racing stuff for you. Stick all over your camper, your hot rod, whatever you got. And don't forget about Tim Sims is going to be running the General Tire Winter Nationals coming up. I'm going to share the screen here real quick with a flyer from that. Check it out at timsims.com. Also, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators on Facebook for all the details coming up. It's going to be a really neat deal if you're into iRacing at all. Even if you're not, check it out. Log in so you can watch along the Dirt Sim Racing League. Get to race, watch these guys race. Some of the big hitters in sim racing will be involved, along with some of our local stars, including Matt Westfall. Guys like that are often at times involved with this.
Very cool. Well, that was creepy. Like I saw infinity right there for a moment. So if you want to play for your chance to win that prize pack there and a Big D's pizza, just put your guess in the comments. I know I haven't told you what you're guessing yet, but just put your guess in the Facebook Live comments. If you're listening to us on demand after we're not live, that's fine. Just come on back to our Facebook page, which you can find linked from our HammerdownRacingReport.com webpage, which is now up and running. You should check that out as well. And you have until, we'll say, Sunday at midnight to get your guess in. This week's How Many is more of a who is instead of a how many. Who's going to win the first night of the Chili Bowl Nationals, the A main? So we may not have a winner, actually, because you can't really be closest. Unless maybe we change it to the number. We'll change it to the car number.
Ooh.
That's what we'll do. We'll do the car number of the winner of Monday night's Chili Bowl Nationals A main. And if you need to check out who's in there and what car number they're going to be running, you can check out chilibowl.com, and under the entries, you can click on Monday, and it'll show you all the drivers that will be there. And pretty much there's every number from 0B, all the way up to 121.
And you do have to pick a letter if it's a number that matches.
Yes.
Ooh.
So if, go ahead and just put your number in there, Ron. Mr. Hammer picked 35, I think.
Yay.
So that way we can get it closest because, there is a 35 running, Jacob Denny. So just
All
put
right.
that number in the comments. That's your guess for that prize pack and a Big D's pizza. Ron, you want to wager a guess since you won last time?
1L.
1L. Who's 1L?
I don't have a clue.
There's a 1D. We'll give you a 1D. That's David Gravel. That's a pretty good guess.
Oh, that works.
That works.
What number is Larson in?
He's not on Monday night.
He's not running Monday night.
Oh, okay.
So what do you got, Jerry?
I will take number 5, Chase Briscoe.
Ooh.
Dang it.
Kyle Larson is driving the 0-1 on Tuesday night, by the way.
Okay.
So he will not be involved in Monday nights.
Does Kathy have a guess?
I think she's grabbing the pizza from the pizza delivery guy, so I don't know.
The Big D's Pizza. All right. Well, I'm going to take number 9, Tim McCready.
Ooh,
Could be a good pick right there.
good pick.
So
Former Chili Bowl champion.
Tim Conover picked that same number. So there you go. If we have multiple winners, again, we'll pick a random tiebreaker there, so you can pick the same number as somebody else. That is a rule that we had changed at the end of last year. So again, you can put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live up until Sunday night. That video it'll be still living on our Facebook page. So
Jerry, you were talking about Tim's prize pack and a lot of General Tire stuff. How long do you think it's going to be since General Tire bought out Hoosier before they start branding the tires with General Tire? It seems like that would be an advertising bonus.
Hopefully never. Hopefully the Hoosier name never goes away. I mean,
I believe that, but that wasn't the question.
Yeah, obviously McCreary went away, and it's now American Racer. I hopefully, like I said, hopefully it doesn't. But if they were going to make a change like that, I would say it's going to be sooner rather than later when you see them sponsoring things like the Chili Bowl and events like that. They're going to definitely want to make their name known a little bit more.
Exactly right.
Upcoming races, we got one. It's not this weekend, though. The following weekend, January 16th, Saturday, Millstream Speedway, the Hangover 2 race. It was rescheduled from the 2nd of January to January 16th, featuring, of course, the Whiskey Stock, Moonshine Stock, and Champagne Stock. Pits open at 9 a.m., main gate at 11, and racing at 1 p.m. General admission is just $12 for that. I know he's got a lot of projects going on out at the track, making a lot of improvements out there. So, I mean, even if you don't want to see some great racing, you can come on out and at least check out the facility, see where things are headed for the regular racing season.
Don't forget to watch their Facebook Live next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Catch up on all the latest news from Millstream Speedway.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it too, because I haven't talked to Scott in a few days, so I'm not sure what's going on out there. I think last I heard from was
I'm sure you'll know.
Yeah, and then we'll share with everybody else. So, thanks to our associate producer Dave Kemmer, field correspondents Matt Swanner, Doug Dock, and I'm going to throw Les Hanna in here as well. You can follow him on Twitter at DirtInIt. Next week, I had a little help with Les there. We're going to be talking with Kenny Wallace, former Fox Sports analyst and cup driver. He pretty much races anything now, focusing on his modified. So we'll be speaking with him, or maybe he'll be speaking with us, and we'll maybe interrupt him every once in a while. I'm not sure.
Next week, block in more than 1 hour for our show. It's likely to run long.
And work every second of it.
It's especially if we squeeze a little update from Antoine Hernandez going on out there at the
Chili Bowl.
Chili Bowl, yeah. We've checked in with him from the Chili Bowl Nationals before. I think he didn't get a ride until late, though, from what
it's like the last couple of days. It all came together.
So we'll talk to him as well. No guarantees on that, but we'll see if we can squeeze all that together into one action-packed show. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be talking to Dona Marcoulier, late model driver, won that series up there at Tri-City and Merritt, and he's been a familiar face down around here, ran Oakshade quite a bit, and very successful there. And apparently I have to ask him a question about Rusty Schlank's glasses. I'm not sure what the question was.
Oh, no.
There's a story there, and we'll get to the bottom of that. That's 2 weeks from tonight. Don't forget to give our Hammer Down hotline a call if you want to be on the show for really no particular reason at all. Just call that number right there, 419-318-3081. That's 419-318-3081. Anytime, day or night. Leave a message on there. And just to prove that I will play back any message that is left on there, check this out. This actually probably has something to do with me setting up our website. So I apologize for this, but there.
Hi, this is David with, and we just received received the information for your new website, and it does look like your website is now ready to be listed in the local and national search results. So you'll need to grab a pen, as the following message includes important information for listing your website.
You have been issued a temporary promo code in order to have your website properly listed in the local and national search results. Your promo code is valid through this Friday and waives the setup fees. To use your promo code and ensure your website's proper listing, you'll need to go to select from the local or national listing, and then enter your promo code 4171 to complete your registration. The process takes less than 5 minutes to complete, and it will ensure an increase in the visibility of your website. Congratulations on your new website, and we look forward to receiving your registration and serving you.
Hi, this is David with
And we've been trying to get a hold of you in regard to your new website. This will be our final attempt to contact you about your online registration instructions. Again, you have been issued a temporary promo code in order to have your website submitted into the national and local search listings. Your promo code is valid through today only and still does waive the setup fee for you. To complete your registration and to use your promo code, you'll need to go to select from the local or national listing where you'd like your website to appear, and then enter the promo code 4171 to waive the setup fees. This process takes less than 5 minutes to complete and will ensure an increase in the visibility of your website. We do look forward to receiving your registration today.
So there you go. I may have sped that up a little bit just because it kind of threw on just a little bit there.
Quickly, I want to thank Tim Nichols, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators, once again for allowing me to broadcast from his shop tonight. Check him out again at Tim's Dirt Track Simulators on Facebook and timsims.com.
Do we get to play in them?
Well, sure, anytime. He actually wants to come up at Oakshade and Millstream this year, so absolutely, come down. We'll have to be able to take a ride in them.
Thanks again to Oakshade Raceway for sponsoring the program and helping us out with equipment here for the new year of the Hammer Down Racing Report. In addition, I want to thank Real Geese Silhouette Decoys for helping us out as well. They do look pretty real. I've seen the pictures of them. They're like in the grass there.
No. That was pictures of real ones. The fake ones weren't even in the shot. That's how they got the real ones to come in.
New. Yeah, it's good stuff. Check out. I'm so confused right now. RealGeese.com.
Being facetious. Sorry, Craig. I know your product's awesome.
419-800-8100. Millstream Speedway, of course. Check out their Twitter or Facebook. You can access that on their website, millstreamspeedway.net. Big D's out there in Clyde. Thanks again for all they've done. And, of course, Ron Miller Race Cars. Give them a call, 734-856-7223.
All of my Buckeye fans, go to Big D's. Try the new Big Nut Burger.
There you go, Big Nut Burger. Check out their Facebook page. They got pictures of the Big Nut guy there eating the burger.
Yep, very cool stuff.
Yeah. So next week, again, we're back with Kenny Wallace, 7 o'clock Thursday night. Go eat your pizza, Mr. Ron Miller. Mr. Jerry Keyser, have fun playing some video games or whatever it is you're going to be doing there. And
Sim racing.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is sim racing. Didn't mean to offend any sim racers out there. I used to do that years ago. I was a pioneer in that. I was doing sim racing when I still had dial-up.
Ooh.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Check out our website, hammerdownracingreport.com, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we will.
Good night, everybody.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.